America should protect you? Your sons killed us. Why would you give the criminals an advantage over an unarmed citizenry? Get the hell out of your elitist egghead tower. Put on your big boy pants. From the makers of the Washington two-step, where you say one thing and do another, the ones who brought you other D.C. game shows like Beat the Clock, where you don't send subpoenaed information in time, don't answer questions, and hope that Congress will simply forget about you. Like What's My Line, where they tell you what to say, how to say it, and then when all else fails, to plead the fifth. And the Big Brother reality show, where your every phone call and email is monitored. Unless, of course, you need more security in Benghazi, or you're a terrorist. Hello and welcome to Justice. I'm Judge Jeanine Pirro. Thanks for being with us tonight. One of the most popular D.C. game shows today is To Tell the Truth, or to not tell the truth. My favorites? The anti-Muslim video caused the spontaneous protest in which 4 Americans were killed. No one changed any of the talking points. We never sent assault rifles to Mexico. We never have the IRS target people because of religious or political beliefs. It's just a few rogue agents in Cincinnati. We never seize reporters' records or violate the First Amendment. Some notable scenes from To Tell the Truth or Not. In over his head holder perjures himself before Congress.
That is not something that I've ever been involved in, heard of, or would think would be a wise policy.
We now know that was a bold-faced lie. Not only was he briefed, he actually approved the search warrant request and then judge shopped to find a judge to circumvent the Constitution. And clueless James Clapper, he lies to Congress about the NSA.
Does the NSA collect any type of data at all on millions or hundreds of millions of Americans?
No, sir.
It does not.
Not wittingly.
In this game show, if you get caught and then apologize for lying, you get away with perjury. Now, one of the most memorable scenes, Leon Panetta lies about troops not able to get to Benghazi in 8 hours.
Time, distance, the lack of an adequate warning, events that moved very quickly on the ground prevented a more immediate response.
More immediate response? You never even showed up. And since you didn't know how long the fight would last, it proves that you never intended to send help in the first place. And here's another one of my Panetta favorites.
You don't deploy forces into harm's way without knowing what's going on, without having some real-time information about what's taking place.
Shame on you. You don't deploy forces in harm's way? What do you think war is? And you didn't know in real time what was going on? You knew what was going on. And the learned Lois Lerner, she lies to the House Oversight Committee saying her unit never targeted Tea Party groups, although a year earlier she knew of the targeting and tried to cover it up. And then, of course, when she's called on it, she...
There I said there are so many amendments in the Constitution of the United States of America. I can only choose one. I can only choose one. plead the fifth. I plead the fifth. 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth. Anything you say, fifth. Go ahead, ask me a question.
Did you?
Fifth.
They even put their lies in writing, like this Department of Justice letter to Congress, which reads, "Your claims that we sanctioned or otherwise knowingly allowed the sale of assault weapons to a straw purchaser who then transported them into Mexico is false." Then they try executive privilege to block the truth from coming out. But 10 months later, because of Congress's dogged pursuit of the truth, even the Department of Justice admits they lied. You know who I'm talking about, the group that just doesn't care.
When did you talk to the president after your initial meeting around 5 o'clock? When did you talk to him again?
I'm not sure.
Do you know if the president went to bed before the attack was over?
I don't know, sir.
The group that relies on TV to find out the latest debacle.
Well, let me take the IRS situation first. I first learned about it from the same news reports that I think most people learned about this. I think it was on Friday.
The group that doesn't know anything.
I was not personally aware of any request.
We did not know.
And it was really over before, we had the opportunity to really know what was happening.
I don't know. I don't know.
And to the ultimate, who gives a damn?
The fact is, we had 4 dead Americans. Was it because of a protest, or was it because of guys out for a walk one night who decided they'd go kill some Americans? What difference at this point does it make?
And now a script change, the latest administration riff.
Endless parade of distractions and political posturing and phony scandals.
Fake scandals, some phony scandals that have captured the attention of many here in Washington only to dissipate.
Phony scandals shift focus from what needs to be done.
Mr. President, with all due respect, if these are make-believe scandals, why did you tell Stephen Miller, acting commissioner of the IRS, that he had to go? Why did you say that that behavior was outrageous and unacceptable? Why did you say you were fully investigating what happened with security at Benghazi? Why an accountability review board to assess that security, which was, by the way, found to be inadequate, if you didn't need to get to the bottom of that atrocity in the first place? And by the way, have you been able to, in your own words, hunt down and bring those murderers of Americans to justice? I know you didn't send your investigators to Benghazi until weeks later, when the crime scene had already been trampled on and contaminated by just about anyone and everyone. And if there was no AP scandal, why an open invitation to the press for tea sent by in-over-his-head Holder to discuss never again seizing reporters' records and violating the First Amendment if you didn't do it in the first place? What's that? You had a little extra money left in your tea budget? Of course you have extra money, now that the IRS isn't sucking down wine and ordering pornography in their presidential suites at our cost. I have an idea. Why don't we just audit the IRS? You could use the bonus money you're giving their union to pay the auditors. Mr. President, with all due respect, Americans are fed up with the theater. This is not a play. This is not a movie. This is not a game. Our men are dying on foreign soil. Hardworking Americans have lost their jobs. many unable to pay their mortgages. Cities are going bankrupt. We give citizenship to terrorists who then turn around and blow us up. And there's no good ending to this story. Mr. President, stop the dancing, stop the denying, stop the lying, stop playing politics, and stop gaming us. Start leading. If I had my own game show, it would be about the truths I learned growing up in small-town America. It would be about justice, fairness, and honor. All that is great that this country stands for, and doing what's best for the American people. There would be no script, no rehearsals, no actors, no soldiers left behind, no one targeted for his or her political beliefs, no one given a free ride. Everyone would be held accountable, and no one would be allowed to lie and get away with it. That show, my show, I would call it Truth and Consequences. But then again, I'm sure you've never heard of it. And coming up tonight, the president says they're all phony scandals. Really? But to the American families of those 4 killed in Benghazi, it was real. Finally, we hear from one of the men on that roof in Benghazi. And vote in tonight's Instapoll. Are Benghazi, the IRS, fast and furious?